Anyway, hey everyone, my name is Eliza, and y'all probably heard the news already. Pro wrestling legend Hulk Hogan passed away recently.
Clap if you care. All right, let's move on.
This might offend y'all, but I don't freaking care about Hulk Hogan. And I also think it's valid if you don't, because I know there are going to be some people fuming that people are celebrating his death, but can we really blame them? And my opinion on that is it's valid, but personally, for a celebrity, I wouldn't celebrate just as they died, you know? And as much as I hate him, and there are many deep dives as to why I or anybody would dislike him, so I'm not going to explain very deeply why here, but to describe it in one word, he was a monster. Because he would politic his way into getting what he wants. That's why we got the term Hogan, to criticize superstars and creative administration, shutting down a union for pro wrestlers and pro wrestling in general. And overall, he's just a blatant racist, so it's completely valid if someone wouldn't respect him, especially since he passed. Now, I hate him, and I feel like I keep saying that. It's only been about a minute, and I said it like a million times, but I was also thinking about how some of the wrestling fans also don't like him, but they might still say RIP. And I don't believe them saying that means they switched up, meaning that they are fans just because they decided to say RIP, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, if you see your friend or a YouTuber, especially a wrestling YouTuber that focuses on wrestling stuff, that they have expressed that they dislike and don't support Hulk Hogan, but they might still say RIP. And if they do, I personally don't think that means they switched up to now being a fan of his and supporting him. So I made this video on TikTok explaining this. I said, just because you didn't like someone doesn't mean you cannot pay respects to them if they died. I never liked Hulk Hogan, and I definitely expressed criticism towards him that isn't pretty. But I am still gonna pay respects. Like, saying RIP doesn't mean we switched up. He was still a very bad person, and I'm not gonna disrespect him as he just passed. It's up to you if you want to or not, but if you're actually hating at a quote-unquote vulnerable time like this, then that's fucked up in my opinion. You know what's crazy is that now reading this back, I said that I paid respect, but I really didn't. But I did insinuate that I would and did. In reality, I didn't and wouldn't. But reading this now shows that what I said before I showed you the screenshot, it did not translate well in TikTok. I basically said something else entirely, and it sucks because I don't even believe in that. Needless to say, people were not happy with my video. They weren't necessarily mad at me at first. They were just saying, like, why would I do that if he was a bad guy? And sooner or later, people find it and start getting mad, and I had to delete the video, and I wanted to clear the air. I was responding to people, but they didn't give the time of day to respond back, and I mean, it's valid. I don't know if it's just me that, like, I'm weird and I'm, like, expecting someone to respond to me just so I know, like, what people are thinking, but, like, I understand why people will not respond. It's just, like, I don't know, but it's valid. And when reading the backlash in the comments, I realized that what I wanted to convey was not conveyed the way that I wanted to, because it seemed like people are accusing me of saying that y'all who don't like him should still respect him because he just died, which is not the truth at all. But I wrote out the thing so poorly that it gave off that way, and I just wanted to tell y'all that it was not the message. But I am sorry that the message was insinuated in a way that I was sympathizing with a person like Hulk Hogan. Mind you, my caption said something like, I hope wrestling fans don't make this something that it's not, so it just doesn't look good. I also wanted to say that as much as I like, even though Hulk Hogan was a bad guy and I don't like him, I wanted to appease to the Hulk Hogan fans so they don't kill me and be annoying in the comments. But why did I even do that? I'm such a people pleaser that I wanted to not get into any discourse. Like, I can do a little difference in opinion, but it sucks when the internet freaking hates you. Like, I'm trying to unlearn this people pleasing thing, and I'm trying to be unapologetically myself, especially when it comes to like politics and social issues, because in America it's just so normalized to be Republican and hateful, and being empathetic is controversial and so delusional, and that's so crazy to me. I don't agree with right wing views and conservative shit that I really don't want to appear like I am sympathizing a racist loser. I really don't agree with that, so I don't know why I'm freaking like even trying to appease or appeal to them. Now, I am no famous YouTuber by any means, let alone TikToker, but I wanted to make a video to clear the air because I felt like that was the right thing to do. So I made an apology video in hopes of doing that, and I'll show the apology right now, but I wanted to reiterate the mistakes I made and what I learned. I learned that I need to double check on what I say. I overthink a lot, especially for TikTok, but for that one that I just posted, I want to do better with being confident with posting online, especially when I want this content creator thing to work, but I can't be making these dumb mistakes. Listen, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that you cannot make mistakes ever, and you're not human, so you can't make mistakes, but you cannot be making careless mistakes like forgetting to proofread your things closely and saying things that might be wrong and insensitive. Like, people would like you more, you know? I'm sorry for making this look like I sympathize with Hogan, and even though that wasn't the point, I understand how it looks and it doesn't matter in this case, and I see how the insinuation was wrong, and addressing that being the issue because my context really doesn't matter. Basically, I did provide my context, but I still see what I did was wrong and how it looks is wrong. So I also learned that I shouldn't be afraid of like my views, even if they're just mildly left-leaning. And it's crazy that I even have to say like left-leaning when it should just be the bare minimum to like not be racist and have empathy and just like not look at other people as inferior just because they look different from you. Like that should be like a given already. So to make it like a left versus right thing, I think it's dumb, but like for this instance, they're just mildly left-leaning. If I say I hate racists and racist people, then that's it. None of this, well, the other side, I don't care for the other side. They don't even care about me. If I said time to time that I don't like Hulk Hogan, then that's it. I don't like Hulk Hogan. I know life isn't black and white and lots of people don't see the nuances, but honestly, when it comes to these things, there is no middle ground. Sure, separate the politics to the art and separate the art from the artist, but in the end, even if you separate them, you're still supporting these losers. And I can't let that happen. But I also learned that like there's this thing going on in the internet that I have been brought upon like on my For You page, but I just like ignored it. It's people saying that like just because like the internet is like accessible, I think that people feel the need to like give an opinion on everything. And I'm looking back now, it's just like I don't care for Hulk Hogan, so why am I giving an opinion? Like, I'm not obligated to. My TikTok and my YouTube even, but my TikTok isn't even like a wrestling like content creator TikTok. I don't even focus on solely wrestling. I do other things, and sure, like I want to try to like ease into wrestling content because I feel like I have some opinions that are unpopular, but like I feel like this was something that I didn't even need to touch. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I shouldn't even need to have like put my opinion because girl, who is you? Like who? I'm a nobody. So like it's not like I'm a wrestler that people are just like, oh well, how do you feel now that he passed? Like no, I'm just a regular freaking person, and I don't care for Hulk Hogan like that. I don't even care for freaking like legends. And I'm over here trying to put in like something like no one cares. There was a comment that said like, "Oh, if you don't like him, then you shouldn't have like said anything." And I'm just like, "Yeah, you're right." Cuz I feel like for some reason I needed to put my input on like Hulk Hogan's passing, and it's just like in reality I don't care, so I should have just said nothing. But like, yeah, it's just this epidemic of like people thinking that they need to have their input on everything. And it's just like, I realize now that I don't need to put my input on everything. I don't need to have an opinion on every single thing. So yeah, even though the opinion is like on the right side, where I'm saying like everybody hates Hulk Hogan, so but then I say some stupid shit like this, so it's just like, it's already a given. Don't fuck it all up like this, you know what I mean? So I am sorry for doing that lame and careless video, and I will do better. I made this video recently, and it was a mistake, and I'm sorry for that. It gave off the impression that I was trying to tell people to sympathize Hulk Hogan when he doesn't deserve it, and like I fully agree with that. Like, fuck Hulk Hogan. I hate Hulk Hogan as much as the next person, but I think that was not the message I was trying to give. Reading all of this now, it just looked like very poorly written, and I can see how people were thinking about that. But um, no, the message was basically saying like, my first paragraph says, just because you didn't like someone doesn't mean you cannot pay respects for them if they pass. First of all, respect, like paying respects as in like death. Like, I didn't know how other ways to put it, like acknowledgement of passing, I guess, I don't know, but like the word respect just like triggered an alarm for like everybody. It's just like respect and Hulk Hogan. That shouldn't be in the same sentence. What I meant by this was like, if you see someone that has expressed like negativity, right? Somebody that doesn't like Hulk Hogan, but you see them say like rip or something, um, that doesn't mean that they switched up. You know what I mean? I've explained in the second paragraph that I've definitely expressed like bad criticism, talking about him badly. But to me, I thought it was weird maybe to like celebrate just as he died. But I mean, the comments say otherwise, and honestly, like, I liked that, and I'll tell you why. Because this whole thing, like, it looks pretty neutral. Like, if I was like being neutral on like Hulk Hogan, or like trying to, or it looks like that I actually sympathize with Hulk Hogan, which is like far from the freaking like truth. But I was genuinely afraid that like the Hulk Hogan fans were gonna come for me. I've had very bad luck with TikTok, where like I will literally put the hashtags for like a specific audience, and then I'll get the opposite audience, and then I will get hate, and it's just like, oh. I mean, I don't like Hulk Hogan, so I didn't personally say rip in like Twitter. I haven't touched Twitter in a long time because the WWE community fucking sucks there. Wrestling community in general. And Instagram, like every time when I saw somebody like freaking um honoring Hulk Hogan, I just like ignore it. In this video, I didn't even say that I freaking like said rip to Hulk Hogan. Like, I was talking about like other people. I just think it's not so black and white. If you see somebody like, if you saw a friend of yours or like a YouTuber that has expressed negative things about Hulk Hogan, and then they say rip, that I just don't think that that means that they switched up. However, this last like statement that I said in the paragraph, I say it's up to you if you want to, but like hating him, I think that's fucked up. But like in reality, I don't, because like fuck Hulk Hogan. Like, but I think just as they pass, it's just like maybe we shouldn't be doing that. But like in the end, it doesn't matter because it's Hulk Hogan. At first, it didn't really blow up. I got like a few comments being like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna like pay any respects to like a racist and everything that he's done, right?" And I'm just like, yeah, yeah. Another comment that I got that made a really good point was like, if Donald Trump freaking died, I'm not gonna freaking pay respects to him. Like, and it's just like, yeah, why didn't I think of that? Like, I think because I mean, I said in reply, thinking that like, because Hulk Hogan was just like a pop culture icon, a celebrity, that he's like not the fucking president. It's different because when that day comes, I'm gonna be cheering and celebrating and laughing at my family's faces. Like, I'm gonna shout it on the rooftops, and I don't care. I'm not gonna say rest in peace for that. Like, but why am I doing that for someone that is basically the same? And that motherfucker freaking like was that I saw that fucking campaign, like it was. I freaking like wanted to throw up when I saw that, and I'm just like, why? I'm not surprised, but that he freaking like did that. I just don't know how people navigate TikTok, because I feel like, do you just watch the video and you just like scroll? I feel like you would go to the comments, because like I liked every comment criticizing Hulk Hogan. even like the hate ones, because like again, like fuck Hulk Hogan. I feel like I have to say that every single time. But I've also like responded to comments being like the most I'll do would just be like, oh, rip. Anyways, like that's basically all that I've done. My disrespect for Hulk Hogan is an 11 out of 10, but for yesterday, because it happened yesterday when he passed, for right now it's just at a 10.5 out of 10 for me. Just like give me a few days or like a week and I'll be back to normal with criticizing and hating him. But since I got a lot of backlash of people saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna like honor a guy that doesn't even like me." And it's just like that's true. It was a breath of fresh air because I thought Hogan fans were gonna come to my account and be like, "I don't care if you don't like him. It's fucked up that you're hating on him just as he died." And it's just like, well, fuck Hulk Hogan and fuck you too. But like, I don't know why I was trying to cater to those losers, right? But like, yeah, the backlash in a way was kind of like a breath of fresh air for me because it just like it confirmed that like, hey, if you believe in something, don't like try to sugarcoat it because it might get hate when it's like it's an issue or because I'm a person and a wrestling fan, but I'm a person that hates when people say that like their entertainment, um, like their form of entertainment is not political. And I mean, when it comes to like not liking a minority group or women or like somebody that's not the rich white man that's abled, like I don't even think that has to do with politics anymore. You're just a fucking like monster of a person. You don't have empathy and you see people as like inferior, and it's just like I don't even think that's politics anymore. So I always try my best to like call out people when they say like stupid shit and like follow stupid people like Hulk Hogan. My one of my first like pin videos is like someone trying to call me out because they said just because you don't like that Logan Paul is MAGA doesn't mean that he isn't a good wrestler. And it's just like, well, that's a very like that's a valid statement for somebody. And then this person was saying, well, if WWE is a MAGA company, then why are you following WWE? And I just did this whole video, and then I did a video like criticizing people that like criticize CM Punk for saying something like "Free Palestine" when he's CM fucking Punk. That's what punks do. And I had a video that I never posted because I was afraid of freaking MAGA losers um, commenting like shit because it was about when CM Punk um, was standoffish with a fan that wanted to take a picture and he was wearing a MAGA shirt. Even though I think the comments took the video a different way that it wasn't meant to be, but I mean that's my fault. I wrote it very poorly to where it looked like I sympathized with Hulk Hogan despite him being a fucking monster when he was alive. I'm sorry for that. I really, really don't want to come off as somebody that sympathizes Hulk fucking Hogan. Like I'm sorry for even thinking about that. If I learned anything from this, it just makes me realize that I need to double check on the shit that I say, especially when I'm gonna comment on like um controversial things. Especially when I look like this, that this might I really didn't want to make it seem that I, a Mexican American woman that happened to have blonde hair, or blonde hair, by the way, um, trying to tell how people should feel about a man that was just like so bad towards them. I should watch what I say if I'm gonna make a video about issues, but I also like it confirms that like I need to be consistent, you know what I mean? I say I hate Hulk Hogan because of the shit that he's done, and I've made a couple of videos of like issues that like WWE has. I did a video about how like I fucking hate El Grande Americano because it just looks like he's just mocking like freaking Mexican people and Mexican culture and the Mexican craft of lucha libre. And like it's not consistent if I'm talking about that and then I say something that insinuates that I should sympathize with racist. Like it's not it. Once again, I'm sorry for like this fucking piece of shit. Um and I learned a lot from it. I realized that it was inconsistent from my beliefs. I realized that like I mean, that's just like a problematic thing to do, sympathize with a racist. And it made me realize that I shouldn't be like such a people pleaser or an overthinker where I have to like take both sides into account. Like, why would I want to do that, especially for something like this? I shouldn't have like been scared that Hulk Hogan's fans are gonna like come raid my comments instead. Like, it's like I believe that Hulk Hogan was a piece of shit. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, I should just like stick to that, you know? I was commenting like, give me a day or two or a week to like get back to normal. It'll be old news to me. Like once I started getting those comments that like people are like, no, I'm like, you know what? You're right. So I was already over it that freaking same day. So like I'm back. I'm back to fucking hating Hulk Hogan, and it made me realize that like just like don't be afraid. Like I feel like I'm just too scared to freaking like say what I want in the sense of like when it comes to like issues or controversial people that I'm gonna get like backlash from the other side of the sympathizers. But like no more, no more. But truly, I'm sorry for this shit. Like, what even is that? So yes, I'm sorry. So I post that, and I hate TikTok because like the algorithm is just not consistent, or at least with me. Because tell me why my original post attracted Hogan haters, and this new post attracted the Hogan fan club. I got people saying it's not a big deal, one person saying that I'm okay, saying that I meant every word from the first post, which I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? Someone trying to accuse me of switching up only because people gave me backlash, but I'm like, that's what taking accountability is. Like, except that I actually learned what the issue is and I actually gave a shit, but like that's what you do. I'm not gonna just ignore that, you know what I mean? People like to shit on Gen Z and woke TikTok terms like unaliving and grape when you should just say the actual terms, like say what it is, but I swear conservative people will censor themselves. Like, I would rather you just tell me fuck you, which is what I'm assuming they said, than just like putting asterisks or like dots or whatever. It's just like, okay. So much for freedom of speech, and you're censoring yourself, man. And after 2 days, I was old news. I mean, I didn't go viral like insanely, and I'm not saying that like I should be in the center of like the wrestling community, right? But like a handful of comments of people being disappointed at me was enough to make me feel bad and apologize. Now, for real, I will take some time off from wrestling and content about wrestling with this topic because I think it's dumb to just go right back like nothing happened. But I'm not just gonna go like radio silent, you know what I mean? Now, despite whether I did a good job or a bad job with the apology, I do understand everyone is going to have a different view of what I said, and that is completely fine. I feel like people have been surrounded by bad apology videos that people think that like people that actually care and are genuine when they make an apology is just like changing the narrative so they can save face, but that's just not true. I hope this video made you be glad that you aren't as dumb as me, but also learn what I learned if you didn't already. But thanks for listening.